How's it going, everyone? Today I'm going to be showing you how to time remap your anime clips on Premiere Pro without the Twixtor plugin. You may want to use this method because you don't have the Twixtor plugin, so instead we're going to be using Flowframes, a free alternative to frame interpolation. It's a separate software, so grab it in the description below. First of all, you want to import your clip onto your main sequence, and what we're going to do is nest it because you probably don't want to change your sequence settings. It could be 15, 20, maybe 30 or 60. But you don't want to change that. So what we're going to do is nest it, right click your clip, head over to nest and click OK. Then you want to open it up. So I'm just going to double click and change this sequence to 23.976 or 24. I think it's a bug. Sometimes one works better than the other. I don't know why, but we're going to go with 23.976 and click OK. Then I'm going to cut down my clip. So this is the part I want to use from this frame onwards. So just going to get rid of that and then find the final frame. So this one right here, make a cut. So this is the clip that I am going to be using. Next, we need to remove all of the extra frames so that every frame has motion. For example, this is frame 1. I'm going to use the arrow keys on my keyboard to move ahead. So frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, frame 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can see it's moving every 3 frames. Your clip, however, might be moving every 2 frames instead of 3. So 1, 2. There is movement. I know the sequence is 23.976, but we're just going to call it 24. So take my 24 frames per second sequence and divide it by how many frames it takes to move, if that makes sense. So in our case, it was every 3 frames. This equals 8, which means that it has been animated at 8 frames per second. If yours moved every 2 frames, then it would be 12, which means it's 12 frames per second. This very last value that we have equals 100%. So it could be 8 or it could be 12, and we want to get to 24. So in my case, it would be 8 times 3. This means my speed should be 300%. If it was from 12 to 24, all I need to do is double it, which means I need to double the speed. So it should be 200%. Just had to explain that very quickly in case you were confused. So in my case, what I'm going to do is right click, head over to speed/duration and change the speed to 300. So now, as you can see, every frame has movement. Now it's time to export. So I'm going to press Ctrl M, change the format from H.264 to AVI, which is this one right here. Open up the video panel and change the video codec to none. Now, before I proceed, I just want to let you know that you might want to stick to H.264, which is the most common format. So if you do run into any issues with AVI, use H.264. But the reason why I'm using AVI is because, first of all, it offers better quality because there is less compression. However, this also means a very large file size, so just keep that in mind. Alright, so already it's looking really blurry, so what we need to do is change the frame size, and this needs to be matching your source. So mine is 1920 by 1080, so I'm going to select it and click on custom. I'm just going to type in 1920 and then 1080. There you go. But there's still some issues. Okay, we'll fix that in a second. Just make sure that your frame rate is 23.976, field order is progressive, and the aspect. This needs to be square pixels. That might change your frame size for some reason, so just change it back to 1920. And I have no idea why it's being really stubborn, but it's not letting me change it. I still have black bars, so I'm just going to click on this padlock symbol and change it again. That should hopefully fix it. Yep, there you go. I don't want any audio, and there is no audio anyway, so I'm just going to uncheck this box, and I think that's it. Select your location, give your file a name, and click on export. Oh, I've already got one ready. Next up, you want to launch Flowframes. Since it's your first time launching it, it may take a while to load the models, but what you want to do is just drag and drop your clip onto Flowframes, the one that we just exported, and we're going to change the output, FPS, and speed from ×2 to around ×8. The higher it is, the smoother the result will look, but it will take longer to process, so just keep that in mind. I'm going to stick to ×8. Leave everything else as it is, make sure the output mode is MP4, and then click on this massive button that says interpolate. Then it's just going to run the AI and process your clip. This may take a while depending on your specs. So mine's already done. I'm just going to minimize this for now, and I'm going to head back into my main sequence, import the Flowframed clip onto your sequence, click on keep existing settings. At first, you're going to be confused. Why is it the same duration as the original clip? That's because we need to extend it. So because I multiplied the amount of frames by 8, I need to divide it by 8. So I'm going to right click, head over to speed/duration, and over here where it says 100, you want to put a /8 and then click OK. If you multiplied it by a different value, so if you did 10 or 8, just put that value instead of mine and take a look at how smooth it looks. Honestly, impressive. Okay, so now's the fun part, or should I say the hard part, which is time remapping. So first of all, I made a mistake. So your main sequence might be a different frame rate, but the actual clip still needs to be 23.976. So I'm just going to right click it and nest, click OK, open it up and change the sequence to 23.976, but mine's already done, so just do that and click OK. First of all, you want to expand your layer, so I'm just going to hover my cursor over here above V1 and just click and drag it up. Alternatively, you can use Alt on your keyboard and the scroll wheel to just adjust the size. And then what you want to do, I'm just going to drag it down, is click on this FX button here. So right click on that one, select time remapping and speed. So this part is up to you on how you want it. So for example, I could head to the start. Let's say I wanted to start off really quick, slow down, and then speed up again. What I'm going to do is head one frame ahead. So around here, I'm going to hold Control on my keyboard and hover my cursor over this line. So without holding Control, it's going to look like this. But if I hold it, you'll see a plus icon next to the cursor. So I'm just going to click and that's going to place a keyframe. You'll notice that the keyframe has been split into two. So there's one on the right and one on the left. So I'm just going to grab the point on the right side and extend it like so. So right now it's at a constant speed, which is 100%. I'm going to hover my cursor over here to the right side, so not between the actual keyframes, but to the left, and just drag it up to around 200. So 200% seems fine. Then I'm just going to push these forward, maybe extend it a little bit more somewhere around here. And I'm actually going to increase it even more at the start. So maybe something absurd like 400. So let me try 400 there and then just extend it a little bit more. Let's see how that looks. There you go. So now it slows down and I'm going to make it speed up. So I'm going to head around here just a few frames after our first graph. So I'm going to place another one, hold Control, click, and I'm going to extend the right point. I'm going to leave it close by, maybe somewhere around here. And then I'm going to hover my cursor over to the right side here and extend that to about, let's go for 400 once again. So 400, and if I just push that forward a little bit, head forwards a few frames, place another keyframe and extend this, then let go. And then I'm going to bring this down back to 100. So I'm just going to hold it all the way down until, oh, I just realized you can hold shift on your keyboard and it will lock onto like whole numbers. So it goes in fives, which is really useful. So I can go to 100 and then let go. So now if I take a look, this is how it looks, which is okay, but I'm not really feeling it. And that's okay. That's just how time remapping is. You won't get it right the first time. It takes a lot of experimentation. So first of all, I feel like it's not very fast around here. So I'm going to speed it up to about, let's go 600 and see how that looks. Okay, much better. In fact, let's stretch this out a bit. So this final keyframe, I'm just going to move it forwards. Let's see how that looks. Okay, even better. So what I've done here is I've made it start off quick and then slow down, speed up again, and then slow down once again, which takes a bit of time because I've stretched out the keyframe. So if I stretch it out even more, first of all, that's going to make my clip even shorter, but that's okay. But this is how it looks like, which is pretty good. Now, if you would like to slow this down even further, then you can. However, you might experience some issues because to do this, you're going to use optical flow, which isn't the best for animated clips. So let's say I want to slow this down even further, maybe down to about 10% instead of 100. First of all, that's going to extend my clip by like 8 seconds. However, if I play it back, you can see that it's very, very choppy. That's why we use optical flow. So I'm going to right click, head over to speed/duration and change time interpolation from frame sampling to optical flow and click OK. It's still looking very choppy and that's because we haven't rendered it. So if you do export your edit, you'll notice that it does look smooth. However, if you want to see it in real time, what you need to do is first of all head over to sequence at the top, sequence settings, and make sure that under video previews, the preview file format is QuickTime. Change the codec to Apple ProRes 422. Make sure that the width and height are the same as your sequence. You can just click on reset to match them and then click on OK. You might get an error. Just click on OK. It's nothing to worry about. So because I only want to check this segment here, which we slowed down, I'm going to head to the beginning of it and press I on my keyboard to set an in point. Then I'm going to head to the end. So to be honest, we don't have to render all of it, but I am for the sake of this tutorial. So I'm going to head to the end of the segment and oh, it's breaking. Okay, that's fine. We can fix that, I think. So I'm just going to press O on my keyboard to set an out point. And then I'm going to head to sequence at the top, render in to out. And that's going to render it. Let's see how it looks. Okay, not bad at all, actually. In fact, you know what? Let me go full screen. That does look okay, and that's because we've already processed it through Flowframes, which honestly helps a lot. It's not perfect, but it's still acceptable. So yeah, that's how you slow it down even further. And oh, about that thing at the end. Yeah, for some reason this happens. I'm not too sure why. Actually, hold on. I think I know why. Let me test if this is true. Apparently, if you create an adjustment layer, click OK, and then just add it next to your clip. Never mind, that didn't work. Now let's finish it off with a reverse effect. So what I'm going to do first of all is cut down my clip. So that's all I want, just this part here. I'm going to hold Alt on my keyboard and click and drag this sequence over to the right so that I can duplicate it. Right click, select nest, click OK. Right click again on the nested sequence, head over to speed/duration, reverse speed, click OK. Now if I play it back, you can see it has a reverse effect, but it's not very fast. So what we can do is time remap it just like before. So right click on the FX button here, time remapping speed, head one frame ahead, hold Control and place a keyframe. And for some reason, I can't seem to pull it to the right, but when I put it to the left, it does work. Maybe it's because it's in reverse. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, if I just show you, I'm going to grab this right side and put it to the left. So maybe somewhere around here. So that creates a gap, and then I'm going to pull this right side up like so, all the way up to maybe 500. And here's how it looks, which isn't perfect, but it works kind of. Let me just extend it a bit more if it's going to work. For some reason, it's not really working. So I'm just going to leave it at that, and I'm going to cut it down to maybe this frame here. So let's see how that looks. In fact, I'll play it from the very start. So this is the result, which looks pretty good. Don't forget, if you're going to add on adjustment layers and effects onto your clips, make sure to nest them first. Highlight them, right click, nest, OK. Otherwise, you might experience issues with keyframing. So yeah, that's how you time remap without Twixtor on Premiere Pro using Flowframes. Thank you to my members as always for your monthly support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.